So we continue here with working on the character, and I'm sorry, not that. I'm going to do a bit more of relaxing those arms so that she feels a bit better. Right now, her arms, although they're moving okay, I feel that they could be a bit more relaxed. So what I'm gonna do there is I'm gonna offset some of the animation. So starting from the elbow and the wrist. That way it will give me a nice little effect. So I'm going to just call my graph editor again. And you look at the rotation of the elbow. We are now rotating the elbow in, I believe it's in Y. You can see it there. And if we do the wrist is rotating in Z. So let me do the elbow first. So I'm gonna grab the keyframes of the arm. Actually, I can go grab them all here. I'm gonna slide them over with my move tool. I'm gonna slide them over just one frame, and then I'm gonna do, just to test it, I'm gonna do the same thing with the wrist. The wrist, I'm gonna slide it 2 frames over. 1, 2. And we'll see how that plays when I see it. So the idea with it is that by sliding them off, they are going to kind of stay behind a little bit. So it's kind of hard to tell. Let me try to see it there. You can see it a little bit better there, but let me try to go and exaggerate a tiny bit more. So let me go back to the elbow again. I'm gonna slide it another frame. So that one made 2. So that means that the wrist, I'm going to slide it 4. I've done already 2, so I'm gonna move it 2 frames more. 1, 2. So let's see how that plays. So you see her arm, her elbow arriving a little bit later, and her hand staying a little behind as she's moving forward. You can see her moving forward and the hand arriving a little bit later. And I can exaggerate some of the movement. Here the hand arriving a little bit later there, and the elbow arriving a little bit later before the hand. The arm goes forward. Let's do the same trick on the other hand. So we moved it 2 frames later. I grab the elbow there, and I'm going to grab both, and then those will get moved 2 frames later. 1, 2, and then I grab the wrist. I'm going to move them over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 actually. That one is 2 more, so that allows for the hand to stay behind. If you want, of course, you can exaggerate the motion some more. So let's say, for example, when the hand is catching, let me do it on this one. When the hand is, this is the right hand arriving at its location, right? I can grab that rotation and I can say, well, maybe I can rotate it more. Let's see, my rotation is in Z. Oh, I didn't do rotation in Y. So I could actually exaggerate my rotation in Y there. So let me try. There is no rotation in Y right now. So I'm gonna grab and see if I can make a difference there. I'm gonna go positive here. I'm gonna rotate maybe 15 degrees, and that's in frame 5, right? That means that in this other one is gonna have to be 15 degrees as well, right? so that her hand, when the hand arrives there, her hand stays behind a little bit, and then when it goes here, I make it go backwards a little bit. So when I just change it here to -15, see what happens. That way the hand, you can see, stay behind. I can go a bit more. I'm gonna just go -20. So the hand kind of has a little bit of a following through. So you see the hand staying behind a little bit. So let me play back. You see at the end the hand going continue the movement because we haven't done the post infinity yet. So that's why it looks a bit odd. But you see at the end the effect of the hand delayed arriving a little bit later. So let me do the same thing for the other hand. So I just gotta remember we delayed the movement, and I gave it a rotation Y to 15 positive and 20 negative when it goes in front. Let me try doing that. So I'm gonna go in Y. We said is 20 negative. Actually, in this case, it's gonna have to be positive because she has to go up there. There we go, and that goes to this one as well. Let me see it there. Yep, and then this one, the middle one, we said is 15. In this case, will be negative. Let me just double check it there so that the hand stays behind, hopefully. Oh, it didn't change it. 15 negative. There we go. Let me look at it in the perspective view. Oh, I'm in the perspective here. Let me see if I can see it there. So she is delayed, and the hand stays behind a little bit, and then she catches up, and the hand, yeah, continue the movement, because that movement that the hand is doing there is going to happen when the hand is going back. Again, the fact that they're offset is not a big deal because we're going to use post infinity, so post infinity will overlap it, so it'll make it all correct. So let me do an incremental save here. Okay. The next few things that I'm going to do here relate to her in you know, shifting her weight and changing a little bit of the placement of her feet on the ground, because that will give her a bit more swing side to side and weight feeling. Right now she has a very mechanical walk, and of course all of this may change in your character. So let me split my screen in two again and look at her on my front view here, and then I'm going to keep my perspective there. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make her feet right now we have all the keyframes there for her foot, so her feet always goes to the same location, right? And I could make the feet stay and when they land a bit closer to the center, and then go out when the foot is on in the air, and then land again a little bit closer to the center. So let's see how that works. So I'm going to try here. I'm going to start with her left foot. I'm sorry, with her right foot, and the right foot that would be the translate in X of my foot, and as you see it's all flat. So that means that I can if I want her to have a feet a bit closer to the center, I could just grab and say, okay, let me change that value. Let's see for how long. The foot is still on the ground there. So those two first frames are going to be in the ground. Then they lift and then she lands again in frame 13. So frame 1, frame 4 will change. So I'm going to change those. I'm going to change it in a positive manner. So I'm going to just go and move them up. Let me go back here. I'm going to move them up to, let's say, let's just give you a small number, see how much that does. I'm going to type 3 there. Right? So they are a little bit moving a bit to the center. Maybe I can bring them a bit more. I'm going to just say 5. So they go, and let me just play here. The foot is on the ground, then it goes up by itself, it goes to the side, and then I needed to go land here from frame 13 to frame, actually 25. It has to go to that same value, which is 5. So from frame 13 to 25, it goes to value 5. So now the foot goes out, it's on the ground, out, down on the same spot. And you can play with it, so it can be a bit more organic, but I'm gonna do the other foot first and then change this, because right now it stays a bit too flat. So I'm gonna just change it a little bit there, but let me do the other foot first. So I'm gonna do the other foot. So in this case, we said the translate in X. It's going to be, in this case was 5. So in this one I'm gonna do it, translate in X -5, right? And it has to be there for how long? It has to be there for up to frame 16, I believe. So all of these guys are going to move -5. So that, let me see if it takes it, -5. That way the foot stays inside there, and then it goes out. It goes out, and then goes back in at frame 25, which will be -5 again. So she does, if you look at it here, her feet, you see she's having you could have the foot going outwards and have the character walking with spread legs, opposite to what I have over here, kind of walking with her feet, doing that. If you look at it in perspective view, and I still need to fine tune it, but if you look at it in perspective view, this is what she's doing. So you can see her kind of going there. So let me go back and look at my front view here, because of course I said these guys are coming here a bit too flat. So that gives me an opportunity to say, maybe this one, when it arrives there, I want that one to be okay, but maybe this one I'm going to move it a bit more. So I'm going to move this one to the positive value, maybe say 2. See my keyframes take it. That way you see that the foot is going to go out rapidly and in. So that means that on the other foot I need to make it to the opposite direction, of course, translating X. So this one is going to be when it goes out, it's going to be -2. So that way her foot goes out and goes back in. And you can play with the rotation of the foot also to do a bit better effect there. But I'm not going to do it in this video here. I'm going to leave her playing right there on this front view, so I can have a sense of her walk there. You can see her kind of her foot going out and back in front. Just gotta be careful they don't collide with each other. And I'm gonna play with it a bit more in my next video. Always increment and save.